Hey, everybody, it's another big episode of Thursdays with Rob and Paul. Tonight on the show, Nick Offerman drops by to talk about his book and the brand new series, Pam and Tommy Lee. Plus, we get appearances by Jason Mantzoukas, Jack McBrayer, Kristen Shaw, Adam Scott, Reggie Watts, and more. A live phone call from Australia. And we put your Scream knowledge to the test when we make you guess who showed up to what premiere. And did you know that the man behind the mask of Scream can give you a cameo? Yeah, we're getting to all of that. Plus, Megan Fox drank the blood of her now husband, Machine Gun Kelly. We're talking about it all. Watch it. I don't know if you noticed, I am wearing...
Whoa, what is that?
I'm wearing a wrist.
Oh, I don't like it. I'm not on board with this look at all.
It's so I can type faster and cooler. No, it is because remember that episode that we did where I just had come in that my son had like kneed me in like the knuckle. It has just not gotten better. And my doctor was like, you gotta wear one of these things for a little bit. It'll keep everything.
Can I take a better look at it?
Yeah.
Let me see what that looks like. But how big is it? How far up your arm does it go?
Oh, not far there. It's just it can kind of hide. It can kind of hide a little bit, you know.
And
it looks like I have carpal tunnel, which is more embarrassing to me, and I don't know why, because that seems like a normal thing.
Now, would you wear that? Yeah. Would you wear that out socially? If you, or even, you know, without your mask on, if people saw you at the grocery store, would you say, hey, look at this?
I've been out twice with it, and both times I was wearing a jacket, and I felt like it kind of works because the jacket cuff covers just enough of it.
So you answered my question. So you're actively hiding it.
I'm not advertising it. I'm advertising it to you because we had that conversation. Like, is it broken? Is it not broken? Yeah. And it is not broken, but it's messed up. And all my research online has been like, it takes about 6 to 12 weeks to get better. And it was only from like a knee to like the knuckle at the base of my, like whatever you call that, like right there.
What's going to happen to your billiards career?
Well, I mean, look, snooker is what I call it. You Americans call it billiards. I call it snooker.
We call it pool. I mean, most people.
Sure. So my snooker career is fine. I'm working with a massage therapist. I'm getting treatments, acupuncture. I'm all in there. I'll be back on the felted field sooner rather than later.
Okay, great.
And last week I checked in with you. Yeah. And you had a COVID concern.
I did, and I'm in the clear. I got tested, and you know, now I've been tested like 5 times, and I thought for sure I had it, and in a way, I kind of wanted to just at this point I was like, fuck it, I don't care, I'll have it and deal with it, because I felt bad for like a week, but it turns out I just had a cold, and I'm like, I think my body's all fucked up. I think I have no immunity because I've been wearing a mask. Yeah, we've been in the house, so now when you get anything, you know, it
sticks around.
Yeah, it sticks. But I
will tell you this much.
Yeah.
While you got to know, I got a kid with a big old yes.
Really?
My kid got
only
COVID.
One?
Only one. And the rest of the family, and everyone in the family, my kids included, all are vaxxed. And so far we have not gotten it. And
what do you do? Do you lock him in the basement like you normally do? Or what do you do?
What I did was I put him in the back seat of my car, and that's a big car, you know, a Chrysler Pacifica. They got TV.
Oh, here we go. This is a plug. It feels like a plug.
But we really didn't know what to do, and the thought process honestly was like, all right, well, if he's got it, let's all just lean into it, and if we get it, we get it. But it's not like we can't quarantine from him. He's only 7, you know. And then it's like, well, do I leave the house? And then like it just got to be so complicated. So what we have been doing is living our lives normally and testing every morning to make sure, because apparently when you are vaccinated and you can live your life as long as you've been not showing any symptoms. So nobody in our family has any symptoms. No one has any. We rapid test every day, and we're just kind of we're kind of like hunkering down, but we're kind of walking the middle line of it. But my son was out playing basketball.
Was this Twanch or Vanilla Ice?
This is Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was out playing basketball within 12 hours of finding out that he had COVID. He was like, I have got COVID. and then
Oh.
there's been no sign of it
Okay.
at all. So in a good way, thank you, vaccines. He was
Playing
fine.
basketball by himself, not breathing it all over other kids, I hope.
Yeah, and somebody was saying, "Hey, we got a lot of test kits." You know what? We did not. Come on. I actually bought I bought an insane testing kit that actually turned out to be really good for us. But anyway, it actually gives you PCR results at home. Which is great. Yeah,
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, let me get away from your little tiny little crisis, and I'll tell
By
you
the way,
that.
can I just say one more thing about that too?
Yeah.
60. So before, my son goes to LAUSD, which is public school here in Los Angeles, and before they could go back to school, every kid in LAUSD had to do a baseline test, like a baseline COVID test. And because of that baseline COVID test, which my son got a negative on, 62,000 kids in LAUSD had it. So on Tuesday, which is the first day back, 62,000 absences.
It's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, that's bananas. I'll be so psyched when we can talk about something else. Like
I know, yeah.
First of all, I mean, I'm pulling for Vanilla Ice. It sounds like he's fine.
Yes, and people are commenting in the chat. Antigen tests are the way to. Yes, antigen tests, and that's what we've been doing every day. I know what I'm doing. I'm just talking about this other thing that I got that was helpful for another thing. Yeah. There you go. But yes, I'm burned out by it too. I'm burned out by all the COVID talk.
Yeah. I know, like, my wife and I just talk about it so much. I can't wait till I can talk about, like, hey, do you remember what about that movie we went to? Like, I haven't anyway. I was going to tell you something dramatic that almost happened to me.
Very excited.
That didn't happen, but it almost happened. I was walking down the street with my daughter. No big deal. I can afford a daughter. And
are you still doing monthly, or did you sign up for like a 24-month deal?
No, we're going month to month. We're going month to month.
Yeah, it's higher price, but it's also better for you, I think.
It's also like I can return her if I want to swap her out for another kid that's like,
keep
cooler,
them the same age,
more fun. Yeah. So with my current timeshare child, walking down the street, and then there's a little park near us that has like big koi goldfish in it. It's not even a park; it's someone's apartment complex. But my daughter thinks it's a park, and we basically just sneak into this apartment complex and go feed these fish. But so she's like, "Let's go feed the fish." So we're going to feed these fish near our house, and I thought, for no reason at all, I thought, let's cross the street right here. So we cross the street, very busy street, by the way. So we get across the street, and then all of a sudden we hear this. And right where we had just been walking across on the other side, had we been continuing on our path, this old lady just like zoned out or something, fucking drove up on the sidewalk and into these people's front yard. And it was the craziest thing, because it definitely would have like mowed both of us down. And it was so crazy. And like, my daughter was like, she'd never seen a car accident before. And it was just so bananas. And I, was concerned about this old lady, but she looked fine, and everyone kind of ran over to her. Her airbag had come out and everything, but then she was like sort of in shock. She put her car in reverse and tried to like drive back out of these people's front yard, but there was like a wall that she had jumped. So she went like down off the wall and was just like, and then suddenly there, like, the cops just happened to be driving by. So everybody was there, and she was, she was handled, and she wasn't hurt or anything. But anyway,
handled, do they like this? Like they threw her in the back.
They tased her. They tased her several times.
Thank goodness.
And then resuscitated her, then tased her and resuscitated her. But anyway, all of this is to say that, I could have been doing this broadcast from 6 feet under.
By the way, that would have been great for ratings. We would have been able to jump from Jerry O'Connell to the first person that hit a dead
first dead host. Yeah. Which I think hasn't been done yet.
I mean, all the late night show hosts, as far as I'm concerned, that I know of, have been alive, have done their shows while they're alive. Now there are ones that have passed, but they didn't do their show. Like Johnny Carson hasn't done a show since he's passed.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. I mean, wait, so Rob, talk to me, and I don't mean to bring it down to an overly serious moment, but like, what was that after moment like? Did you like, when did it hit you? Like, did the
I was freaked
PTSD
out.
yeah.
Yeah, I was freaked out. Honestly, like, because I don't think my daughter quite clocked
Sure.
exactly like how that would have gone down, but like we were definitely in the path of this car had we not just randomly decided to cross the street. So, we got to the little like fish pond or whatever. And I was just like, fuck. It literally threw me off for like, the rest of the day. I was like, fuck, and I told my wife, I was like, okay, cool. And it's like, it's hard to
I
tell.
know.
It's hard to tell other people.
Yeah.
Well, any sort of like, have you ever had something like that where like you almost die and you tell other people and people go, okay, cool. Anyway.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah.
let's get back to the meeting. Yeah.
They only get it when it happens to them. I'm going to tell you this much though. And I don't want to like freak you out, but I think it's worth mentioning.
Wait, is this going to be like, what's that movie where death keeps coming for the person?
Well, but no, Rob, what I wanted to tell you was this old woman could have been a time traveler sent back in time to kill the next Hitler. And that could be you. Like, you could be going down that path. And that person was a good person who now the plan is messed up. And in the future, where you are egomaniacal leader, she missed her shot. Like, she was a Terminator and she missed her objective. Rob.
So I should be looking at this as inspiration that I could be a powerful leader of some sort. I mean, the way you phrased it,
bad. You're going to be.
I didn't like the way
dude.
you phrased that.
You're going to be a bad dude, but have a lot of power. Now, look, the resistance, basically, they only had one shot, and they could only send back an older woman.
She was the Terminator. Oh my
she
gosh.
Was the Terminator.
How did she get picked? Did she win like a contest?
Well, it's about the skin. The translucence of the skin actually makes the machine work.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I'm guessing.
She was the only one that fit in the machine. I love it.
She was the only one that's that old because she's been in the resistance since a young age. She was friends with your daughter.
Yeah.
Your daughter is your right-hand person in the future. So your daughter is going to be evil.
My daughter's like Ivanka. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a big, it's a big thing. I didn't want to like.
This is a lot. This is a lot to take in. I mean, one, I like that I'm a powerful person in the future and I do have a lot of power. I don't love the Nazi thing, honestly. And
did I say Nazi? I mean,
well, you said Hitler. You did say Hitler.
Power, like I just mean that you would have the negative effect on the scale.
Oh, okay. I'm not
that
like
you would be. No, it wouldn't be anything anti-Semitic at all.
Oh,
like you are not going to do anything anti-Semitic. No. You're just going to be straight up evil.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, so it's going to be a whole different thing. I don't want you to get confused. A lot of people throw around that term a lot, like, oh, it's like like Hitler, No. I'm just talking about from a power standpoint. That's
okay.
It. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like that. I kind of like it.
Well, okay. So get cracking, I guess. Like sometimes
I got a lot of work to do. Normally we have people just come on and chat with us and just stick around. I bet you Nick tries to get us to mention the book over and over and over and over again.
Well, you got to sell those. You got to sell those copies. I mean,
and
he's got a book, he's got a TV show, he's got the whole thing.
Yeah, he's got the Pam and Tommy Lee show and the book and everything. But what I wanted to do because I genuinely like Nick's writing. I like his style of writing and I like his book so much. But I did want to also share with you some other titles. Do I have time to talk about some other things?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm just going to see if this thing actually will work the right way. So
these are just some other books that I'm reading that I like a lot. Obviously, Nick's book is great, Where the Deer and the Antelope Play.
Yeah, I'm just going to do one thing here because I want to see if I can actually. Oh yeah, I can. I'm trying a new setup this week. It's going to be a little bit different. So yeah, so tell me which is the. So you've been reading a lot of books.
Yeah, you can show them in any order you want. I mean, I read so much. This is a book about training your dog and how to. The problem is a lot of people let their dog sleep in the bed with them.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
And then if the dog poops, a lot of times people don't want to create the tension, you know, of like, hey, who did this? Did you do
You
this?
don't want to make your
No.
dog feel bad because your dog doesn't know, so like
That's
society's
right.
rules,
That's
right?
right. So this book is about allowing your dog to sleep in the bed with you and allowing him to poop. The benefits of
Okay.
allowing your dog to poop in the bed with you, which I had not
Now,
thought of.
what are some of the benefits?
You know what? It's mostly closeness between it. It does create a bond between the owner and the
Mhm.
dog.
Right.
It sort of sets them as equals. You know, like for a long
But I
time.
don't shit in my bed.
No, but it's really about not shaming the animal. You know, a lot
Got
of
it.
times people like to have sort of status over their dogs. And this book, the premise of this book is like, no, we're equal.
I've been doing a lot of reading as well, and I've been
Yeah.
reading
What do
with
you
my
read?
son. And
Yeah.
you know, for my
That's
son,
nice.
it's a lot about him getting the love of reading, and you know, it's about finding fun ways to do that. So I've been reading this great book. It's kind of a takeoff on something that we read when we were younger. It's called "Where in the World is Jason Stathiego?" And you have to look through all these pictures and find these little pictures of Jason Stathiego, not
Jason.
Jason Statham,
Yeah.
Statham. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is like, it's like
So this
Carmen
is sort
San
of like
Diego.
a play on words of instead of Carmen San Diego, it's Jason Stahiego.
You pronounced it perfectly, and I see, and I would also say it's also even more confusing because it is a play on Carmen San Diego, but it's also really just a direct ripoff of Where's Waldo.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
yeah, so it's kind of working on two different levels. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to go through. And
and
what I like,
your son
yeah,
likes that. Yeah.
he likes it, and I think it's more fun and challenging to, also I think for him to see bald role models. Obviously, I'm a bald role
Well,
model, and so is Jason.
sorry, I got to just slow down for one quick second because I feel like we kind of ran by that for a second. Did you say that you are a bald role model?
Yeah, I'm a bald role model. There's only a handful of us out in the biz. And
You're a BRM.
I'm a BRM, and that's when you get a cameo from me, all my proceeds go to the BRM Foundation. And it's a grouping of men. It's me, Stanley Tucci. It is also Ben Kingsley when he can do it on the time zone.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, a bunch of us. We have so much fun. Just chatting about sunscreens that we're using, and we're talking about different kind of hats. What do we like?
And so
Fedoras, ball caps.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
confused. Is it are you trying to be role models for other bald people, other bald adults, or for bald children?
Well, we have this cabal, a bald cabal, and we'll sit around and we'll come up with ideas to get more bald people out there. Like, we're the ones who said to Universal Studios a handful of years ago, put more bald people in your movie. And then a couple of years later, they came out with Fast and Furious. And now Fast and Furious has the most bald people on screen out of any major motion picture. And we are so blessed and
Wow.
thankful
Yeah, you
that
got a little
we are able
choked
to.
up. It seemed like you
Yeah.
got choked up on that one. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. That was Bruce and that was Tooch. Together they really pushed that behind Universal
Sorry,
and got.
which Bruce? Which Bruce?
Oh, Willis.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
and and there's been highs and lows. Obviously, Travolta.
Is Bruce in Fast and Furious?
No, but he
No.
wanted to make sure that, like, Bruce is coming from the point of view of saying, like, look, I've done these movies. I did a movie with Sam Jackson. You forced him to have hair. I want to do, more bald on bald characters. And so, yeah, Bruce is one of the people who've been there from the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, I'm thankful that he's there. And we are raising money for hats and sunscreen. And we give them out to bald men, women, children, whatever the case may be. If you're bald, just get on board and we'll take care of you.
Well, I want to get to Nick. I just want to talk about one other thing that I'm
Yeah.
reading besides Nick's book, which is you were talking about fun things to do with your kid.
Yeah.
And I've been reading a pretty fun book about because I've been looking for things to do with my child also. And so there's a book I've been reading called Cool Hobbies for Kids. And it's all kinds of different hobbies. It was written by this.
Hold on. Can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah. What's up?
Is it like a weightlifting book?
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying like cool hobbies for kids, but this kid looks like jacked.
Yeah, he is jacked. I mean, this kid is fitness is a part of his life,
Okay,
but
yeah.
the book is not about that.
It's
I mean,
not a
he
fitness
is
book.
no. He is the author of the book, and the book is great. But this
Cool hobbies for
picture,
kids.
this
Yeah.
picture is just like, camping, guitar, arts and crafts, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but it seems to me like if I'm walking in a bookstore and I'm trying to find cool hobbies for, I'm gonna think this kid's like a little mini weightlifter or something like that.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know much about the publishing world. We could
Okay,
ask
sure.
Nick about
We'll
that.
ask
But
Nick
like,
about it. Yeah.
this is just the picture that he chose to use on the cover of the book.
I'm disturbed by it. Honestly, it's disturbing for me to look at.
I'm sorry that you don't like the picture of this kid. I think that's kind of rude to say that about a small kid, but
It just seems like shouldn't be. All right. Well, anyway, I don't want to get.
well, look, I mean, look, I'll say this. I hope that this kid doesn't ever run into you with your carpal tunnel syndrome, because frankly, this kid would lay you out. I mean, look at him.
I could fight it. I could take him.
You think you could fight this boy?
If push came to shove.
Oh boy.
Hey, there's a chat that's trying to put words in my mouth. No, I do not have strong feelings about kids' body. I don't, that is not the case. I'm just saying if this kid, addressed me in an alley and came at me, I'd have to defend myself, and I would do it capably.
All right, man.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't even get into that. Yeah,
we can talk about other books that we're reading. Like we both said, great book. This is a great book. We have been reading this book. Before we bring Nick on, I got to tell you privately, I haven't finished the book, so please don't do anything that's going to like bust me in front of him, because that'll be embarrassing.
You don't mess it up. I don't hope. All right. Well,
I'm not going to mess it up. But I mean, let's bring him on.
Well, our first guest, him, Rob. Give him a proper introduction.
I think everybody knows our next guest from Parks and Recreation. But we know him as our buddy, and
he is a writer, he is an actor, he's a comedian, he is a producer, he is a professional carpenter, woodsman, a great actor. And not only does he have this great book that is out right now that you can get, he's in the upcoming Pam and Tommy TV show, which I'm so excited for. Please welcome Nick Offerman. Let's bring him up here. Yeah, boom.
Yeah,
Nick.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Yeah. Hello. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
See you guys.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm good. Are you in Los Angeles, California? Where are you?
I am. I just carefully the reflection of my ring light out of the picture. I'm in Los Angeles, California, laying low. My wife, Megan Mullally, the goddess and superhero, and I were supposed to go visit our families in Illinois and Oklahoma for the holidays. But when Omicron came to town, we stuck our heads under a rock, and here we are.
I mean, it is a time, like, we are in the same kind of boat, but I have to say, like, one of the great things about this book is that you went on a full-on adventure, and it sounds to me that this trailer that you took around was like that. I was jealous and envious of that. We rented a Sprinter van for a little bit of time and drove up the coast up to Oregon, and it was like amazing. We had a great time, but it was nothing like this RV trailer that you had.
Well, we went shopping for a Sprinter van. That was the idea.
Okay.
And we're in the August of our years. And so we thought the Sprinter van was really cool, but we thought it was very small. We said, if we were like a cute young couple, like, I don't know, June, Diane, Raphael, and whoever she's shagging around with these days, then this would be
many.
But we are, we need something a little more comfortable. So we literally, it was like a Simpsons episode. We went there for the little thing and left with like, are you sure you don't have anything more enormous?
The thought of you getting this van, and the way you describe it in the book, like pulling it down a cul-de-sac. You live in a cul-de-sac, and then that thought, like, there isn't much motion there. And even with the Sprinter van, which I had a lot of experience driving, those vehicles are just larger. That had a lot of maneuverability, but it's it's not easy to get into a driveway. There's a lot of working it out, and just the image of that going down a cul-de-sac made me laugh so hard.
It's a real situation. I mean, it's a driving experience where really any turn, like generally you can assume that highway on ramps and off ramps are okay. Anything beyond that, you're like, I don't know if we can go to this town. Like, I don't know if we can drive through this town and expect to take a turn.
We were coming back from something, and the fear that we got going through a Starbucks drive-through, which we thought was fine because you don't, they always have that, like, if you can't go through if the car is this tall. And when we drove through and heard like scraping the top of the van, I was like, oh no. Like, we're going through so slow, but it really is, you forget how tall it is too. Like the height of it is a problem.
It is. It's a wonderful way to bring terrifying adventure into your life.
Nick, the thing that I loved about this book, well, I guess because you've written, I feel like, is this your 5th book? How many books do you have?
Number 5. But although number 4 was co-written with Megan Mullally, the superhero and goddess.
The best, the absolute queen.
But the way you write, I'm so jealous of the way you write, because it's so like, I mean, it reminds me of actually like kind of like woodworking. I don't know anything about woodworking, but it's so like you're everything is like, every word and like the turns of phrase are so like crafted, and like, but it's not, I don't know, like the way you write is very relaxing to me. Like, I just felt like I'm just along for like this nice adventure, and it's funny and thoughtful and like just really well written. I was so impressed by it. I guess
I called him a whiskey soaked Walt Whitman, because there's something about it that it's like, it's about like, you feel great about this country that you live in. There's something about
and I was drinking like a glass of wine when I was just like right in the zone. It just caught me like right in the sweet spot. It's so fun.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I have admired both of you for a long time, and to even just get my book into your schedule is very moving to me. And I'm proud of this book. I'm proud of all my books, but I think this one exhibits the fact that I've learned a lot from the previous 4.
Right.
That's awesome.
What do you think that like, I mean, going into it as well, like, it's like when you wrote your first book, was it like because you've always wanted to write a book, or did someone come to you and say, hey, Nick, you should write a book. You have a thing, like, because I know you talk in the book a little bit about how at one point someone approached you like, hey, you should make a thing that could be in like Sky Mall. Like, like you should make an Offerman wood shop, mass produced thing, which is against the purpose of what the wood shop is. But how did that first book come up?
It's funny. I'm a theater trained actor, and I moved to LA and started working in TV and film. And actually, I was thinking about this earlier. From Chicago theater, when people hear Chicago, they're like, "Oh, Second City, you must have been around. Why aren't you working with Adam McKay?" And I say, because I'm a Will Ferrell guy. Which is total bullshit. Everyone hates Will. I'm totally. He's the meanest guy in the business.
The worst, a real son of a bitch.
But it's funny. When I moved to LA, when you work in, I don't come from comedy. I come from legit theater. Like, you learn to do plays like Steppenwolf or at the Goodman or the Taper, or like plays in New York, and so you are equipped to do whatever is on the season. So maybe it's Shakespeare, maybe it's Sam Shepard, maybe it's Fado, farce, like crazy comedy. Ideally, you have everything in your toolbox, but in Hollywood, they specialize you. They want you, if you do a tennis movie, then nobody's going to ever consider you for a basketball movie.
Right.
Yeah. Tennis guy? No, get out of it. And so when I got here, because I come from like, we Chicago thespians apparently lend ourselves well to TV drama. Right. And so I started working initially on like ER and Deadwood and NYPD Blue, and people were like, "Oh, okay, this guy, he's in the rapist drawer." And so eventually I was like, I'm only getting cast in these dramas, but I also like, I think I can also be funny. And I was in New York because Megan Mullally, my wife, superhero and goddess, was doing Young Frankenstein on Broadway. And I called my old friend Amy Poehler, who I had known since the early 90s. And I said, hey, what do I do to get people to consider me as available for comedy? Like, do I take a class at your theater? What do I do? And she said, we have a couple shows that are designed for actors that aren't trained in improv and sketch, just like theater actors, to come in. And one of them is called Ass Cat, where you do monologues, and the other one is called Gravid Water. So she had me, this is 2008. I came in and did the Ass Cat show, and you guys were among the 16 improv performers, none of whom, Amy was there, Seth Meyers and Horatio Sands, and Jack McBrayer, all of whom I'd seen on television. But then there was you guys, there was Mantzoukas, there was Lennon Parham and Becky Drysdale and Jessica there, and just this crazy, like, all-star team. And I never been to an improv show. And I was like 37 or something. And I was like, holy shit, who are these people? And so that was this huge turning point for me where I said, oh, I can like hang with these guys. I can't do improv and sketch with these guys because they're incredibly talented. I can like learn my lines and recite them, and together we'll make magic. And so soon after that, I got cast in Parks and Rec, and crazily, people started inviting me to come do my stand-up at colleges. I was like, I don't.
Right. Yeah. Like, people just assume that you have something ready to go. We have had that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, they're like, oh, you're clearly a comedian. And I was like, no, I don't do that. But then eventually I was like, wait a second, what an amazing opportunity. Yes, absolutely. Ohio State, I'll be there next week. And I started writing, like, I call myself a humorist because I'm not as funny as a comedian, but I started doing that. And I was doing my humorist show at Largo in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And some friends came, and Rashida Jones came backstage after the show and said, I really love your point of view. I feel like you're reading from your book. And I was like, you know what? I had a bunch of stories of like my jackass stories from when I was young.
Yeah.
Like Hubel, like your story, your amazing Yankee Stadium story.
Oh my God.
Right.
As the manager, as Michael Jackson's manager.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I said to my agents, hey, can I talk to somebody about trying to get a book deal? And they hooked me up. I wrote a 12-page proposal. I met with a bunch of publishers in New York. Well, I mean, and it was really interesting because they were like, oh, good, another jackass TV actor wants to, Ron Swanson wants to write a book about bacon, and Amy Poehler, we're all going to make a lot of money. And I was like, no, actually, I actually like really want to write a book, and I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. And so I found a cool editor. Her name's Jill Schwartzman at Dutton Books, and she's been my editor for all 5 books. And that's how it started, where I was like, oh, I never dreamed I would write a book. And now it's gone well. It's part of my education. I love trying to improve myself and keep learning how I can fuck up less.
Yeah.
And somehow it's that the more I learn, the more I know it's a never ending project. And so that's kind of where my book's center is, like, okay, I've covered, like, I've shared the idea that we should all use a handkerchief. Now what's the next book?
One thing I was going to say, and Scheer, you can tell me your thoughts on this, is like, I read the book and I liked it so much. I listened to the audiobook, and I was kind of thrown off by the audiobook. And the whole time I was listening to the audiobook, I don't know, Scheer, if you felt like this, but I was hoping that I thought
think
someone else could have done it a little bit better.
I'm gonna say, like, I thought that you captured the voice of Nick, but I don't know if you were the best Nick. You look, this is somebody I love the book, and I just feel like the voice of Nick Offerman is something I think that is a tricky thing. And by the way, you did a great job. You did a great job. But
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. I was interested in if someone else could do a better reading of it.
So what we've been doing is we've been holding auditions for your book to see if maybe there is somebody out there that can do it.
So yeah, we
a little better. I don't know. Yeah,
we collected a few other voices that we thought might be able to do a better job at reading your stuff.
So I'm just gonna pull that up right here.
So Paul's got
yeah, let me see here. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure I get this right. Okay, and here we go. Yeah, so this is just some people some people we brought in to see if they could do a better job. Here we go.
Okay. This is
my name is Reggie Watts, and I'm reading the part of Nick Offerman.
Well, it began with peeling off wet garments just inside the kitchen door to the garden patio. Rain boots and pants and jacket were left in the mud area. I went into the powder room and ran some lukewarm water to soak up my poor paws. The soft, fragile thespians gesticulated, cruelly impelled to perform.
Okay, I get it.
What do you got? I thought that was pretty good. I mean, what do you got?
I think it's fine. What do you think, Nick? I mean, what's your take on that?
I mean, I'm a huge Reggie Watts fan. I mean, that's like he never does anything straightforward. That was like jazz fusion Nick Offerman audiobook.
Yeah,
and
I get it. Maybe yeah.
I want to smoke some Thai stick now, but
sure.
Yeah, maybe he's not right.
Yeah, if he's not right. I mean, we've got other options to replace.
We got this guy here.
The system in the nutmeg is a whole other animal. It's a pretty deluxe version as RV electrical systems go, as it needs to juice the rooftop heat pump, air conditioner, the refrigerator, freezer, and a microwave, ! In parentheses, all on top of the basic lighting and entertainment needs. In ideal settings, nice RV parks, we just park in our allocated spot and plug a massive 50 amp cable into a convenient 50 amp outlet, then simply fire up the whole casino with the clack of a big, satisfying switch.
I like this guy a lot,
Yeah.
Paul. What do you think? I like him. I like him for a couple of reasons. I don't know that actor's name, but I do think that I don't know. There's a certain level of like authority to his voice that connected with me. Like Nick, no offense, but your voice is a little.
Just now when I'm talking about, like, you, Adam's a guy who like knows what to do with his hands. Like, he's getting in there. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Nick, sometimes, like, honestly, when I hear you talk, just, I don't know whether it's the timbre of your voice or something, just kind of like, it's a little off-putting. I don't know. Let's see some other options, maybe, Paul.
You know what? Maybe, yeah. I don't want you, look, you be honest, but here, this is something that I thought this person did a great job.
That guy, he was good, but he seemed a little butch, maybe.
A little butch.
I like that. That makes sense. All right. So here's somebody totally out of the box, different thing here. All right. Her name is Kristen Shaw.
Oh, I know her.
Hi guys. This is the book I have, which is
she had the wrong book.
Okay.
But I'm gonna read Nick's other book, chapter 3, Avalanche Lake. Oh brother, guys.
I like her voice.
It was still fully dark at 6:30 a.m. when we set off on the 6 mile out and back trail.
Nice gravitas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bet your Yeti 36-ounce Rambler water bottle with chug cap that we were the only ones on the trail.
See, I feel like she knows technical gear and specs,
Yeah.
Headlamp on.
Nick, what do you think? Did she have the goods? By the way, she's showing your old book, but reading from your new book. So that is a nice thing, a nice little kind of switcher up.
I'm not thrown off by that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I think all these are good options if we can talk to the publisher, and talk about maybe digitally replacing your voice with one of these other options.
I mean, Shaw definitely captures a Nick Offerman vibe. I mean, there's actually one person who wanted to audition for you live.
Oh, that'd be great. To do it
Yeah,
live?
yeah,
Oh,
we have
cool.
somebody who wants to audition for you live. We just bring him in right now. This is yeah, sorry. Hey, hi Rob, how you doing?
Hello.
Slate your name.
Rob Corddry, Screen Actors Guild and
Thank
AFTRA.
you.
And how tall are you?
Profile?
6 feet tall,
Okay, that's good.
84 pounds, you know, given the day.
I like this guy. I like this
Not
guy.
bad. I like it.
This is fun.
Okay,
Yes,
so
you
go
can.
ahead, whenever you're ready, you can start whenever you're ready.
Sure, I just chose my favorite part of the book.
Okay, great.
I just thought this was. I'm sorry if I start crying. The swinging leg system works like this. You pop the lock on the ball hitch, loosening the connection. Then you swing the leg down and lock it into the upright position. You turn the crank, the top turn handle, which lowers the foot, which sometimes has a small wheel on it so the trailer can be manually push rolled around on the wheels until the leg takes the levered weight of the trailer. You keep cranking and the leg continues to extend, now lifting the weight up until the front hitch rises clear of the ball. And the tow vehicle can be driven forward.
I've heard enough of this guy. I've heard enough of this guy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great.
So much. I'll work on the weekends.
We'll be in touch.
You will work on the weekends? Okay.
No, I'll do anything.
What do you mean?
Nick Offerman's my second favorite humorist.
Oh wow, who's your first?
Who's your first favorite?
Irma Bombeck.
Yeah, I mean she's pretty great.
I mean,
Shit.
she knows her way around the kitchen and all the issues with that.
The emotional kitchen, you know. Yeah, what are you thinking, Nick? I mean, you got to see a bunch of different people that kind of are, I don't know, maybe you're taking some notes from
these
them
are just
about how to
options.
be,
Yeah, these are just options because I feel like it's kind of like expected that you're going to read your own audiobook. But what if we did mix it up?
Sure. I mean, I think it could be fun to to do one of those things where you get somebody to read every chapter, or
like you
play
did that with Lincoln in the Bardo, right? That was you jumped in. You know, why do we have to have Nick's voice read us Nick's book? You know,
we still have this guy who auditioned here, Rob Corddry. Rob, you said something that was interesting before we cut you off, which was you would do anything for the part. I'm trying to follow up on that. What did you mean by that?
Well, most of the audiobooks I've done so far have been written by anonymous. You know, they've been romance novels, I guess you'd say, like very visual stuff. And they work a completely different way over there. They'll do anything, fucking, sucking, the whole deal. And so it's up to you.
No. Get him out of here, Paul.
Okay.
Get him out of here.
All right. Well, yeah. Are you okay?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that guy.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Oh, there he is. Wait, he's back. Go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah, we can bring
Please,
him.
please, come on.
No. All right, I'll get him out of there again. Sorry.
If he's gonna beg for the job, I don't like that.
I thought you gave me some great choices. I wouldn't mind having that last guy for a callback.
Oh wow!
Right. Should we?
You want to do it now?
Yeah, we'll do it right now.
No.
Late. Okay, no. Yeah.
Do a
You'll do it later. You'll do it later.
Do it later. Do it like in an hour.
Maybe in person. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With like a nice.
Let's talk to him again. Let's just talk to him again.
Wait. It seems like Nick is maybe open to what Rob might do. Rob, you may get a call back here. A private call.
God.
This is called a private callback. I don't know how long you've been in Hollywood, but it's kind of a big deal.
So at a hotel of your choice, I get it.
Well, we'll send you the details.
Okay.
Do you like Pinot Gris?
Yes. The answer is yes to whatever you're going to say.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
This is now, Nick, I this is great, Rob. We thank you for being here. I do want to say though, Nick, we have two other Nicks that I want to show you just before you make this final choice. So
okay.
I'm going to play out for once. We got this one right here that I think you're going to like, because this person to me personifies the spirit of the book. Take a look right here.
Yeah.
No matter what the brand of eggs may be, however, I have never seen a store-bought yolk that could hold a candle to the rich yellow-orange vibrancy of homegrown eggs. At the table of Helen Rebanks, I was served a soft-boiled egg in an egg cup, coupled with some homemade bread slices, toasted. Under the generous tutelage of the Rebanks kids, I gingerly tapped the top of my egg with a tiny egg spoon, then removed the top half of the shell.
Now, what do you think?
Proceeded to scoop.
Is this person in jail? Where are they?
Oh,
Wait a second. I just realized it wasn't me. That was really convincing.
Yeah, you see that? Wow. All right, so that person feels right.
Okay, we might have our answer then. We might have struck gold, and that's what this process is about.
Yeah,
it's trying to find the exact right match, and I think we might have found someone that can do Nick Offerman better than Nick Offerman.
But we got one more, and then we'll let you go. We know we have you here for a long time, but here we go. This last guy, I think, really brought it in. Where that person might have been maybe a little bit smaller energy, this person's bringing up a little bit more of a higher energy.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Jason Mantzoukas, and I'm auditioning for the Nick Offerman audiobook narrator's role for Where the Deer and Antelope Play.
We turn it up, Paul.
154.
Okay, let's see.
Let's talk about beef. In recent years, an enormous myth has taken powerful root. That the climate impact of meat is enormous, roughly equivalent to all the driving and flying of every car, truck, and plane in the world, according to a statement from Greenpeace. This is just a gobsmackingly ignorant statement, lacking any nuance or context whatsoever, and it reflects a pervasive reactionary attitude that we can quickly debunk.
All right. Well, now, what do you think about that?
Sure. Yeah. I'm not sure, Paul. I mean, it's up to you, Nick. You get the final call on this. But to me, if I had a vote, I don't know if I could listen to that for like 16 hours or however long an audiobook is. I don't know how long.
It's 11 hours.
The previous, like, super tan cute guy was like, I feel like he's maybe the entree, but then this last guy felt like my id.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe he's the salsa. We bring him in for the.
I like that.
For the
Now, do you still want to see Rob Corddry again?
Well, we got to cut Corddry. Let's see if we can bring Corddry back, and then we'll tell him the bad news.
Yeah, I mean, I don't unless you don't want to give him. I mean, here, Rob, we just saw the rest of the auditions. They're great ones.
Yeah, good. I found a section on mini skirts.
Oh,
so
well,
ready.
Oh, you want to audition one more time?
Why? What?
We've been through some more tapes and we found some other candidates that might.
Looks like we're going with Jack McBrayer. I just
right?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it, and not every single audition, and all the Nick Offerman parts.
Yeah. You always lose the Nick Offerman parts to Jack McBrayer. You know,
well,
one time they even told me we're looking for a Jack McBrayer type, and he was there. He was in the and we were auditioning for Nick Offerman. So
wow. This is tricky. It's a tricky business, and
he's good.
Yeah. He's good.
All right. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Good luck to you, sir. Good luck.
I love you forever. Oh, he's gone.
Well, that was Nick. We appreciate you being open to these voices and everything. I hope you got to see. All the people who jumped at the chance to be you.
This was there's a real opportunity out there. There's a market, I think, for people to revoice you and to kind of step into your shoes, which I think is big.
You've me able to think about book 6, where we're sort of the toothpaste is kind of out of the tube.
Yeah.
For this book, but going forward, I now realize that my own offering, my own instruments, is pretty weak and insufficient, and it's really just a vanity move, to insist that I sound like this writing. I'm embarrassed that I had to learn this lesson in front of all these people.
And you know what? But that's what we're here, where it's a very communal space, and we're glad that you let us do that. Before we let you go, because we know we kept you for a bit, I'm so excited about Pam and Tommy. It comes out, was it January 31st?
Pam and Tommy, when does it come out? When can I watch
February
it?
2.
February 2. Got it. February 2.
2/2. Is that Groundhog's Day?
It's Hulu.
That sounds like Groundhog's Day.
I don't know what Groundhog's Day is.
I'll find out. But
the trailer,
be great.
The trailer had me so excited. Like, it looks great.
It's really it's fantastic. Lily James and amazing, Sebastian Stan and Seth Rogen. Craig Gillespie directed, and our good friend Lake Bell directed.
Yes,
2 episodes.
I know. Yes, what a heavy hitter, man. That's awesome.
So now I guess the question is, it does come out on Groundhog Day, February 2nd. So if you see Tommy Lee's penis, does that mean 8 more weeks of winter? Is that what we're?
I think things generally warm up if
right.
Tommy Lee's penis pokes the head out of his burrow.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming by, and the book is so fun, dude, and I'm so psyched for you, and thank you for letting us plug in some other actors to try to play you, which is impossible.
It's my absolute pleasure. I really admire and love you guys, and it's so nice to get to see you even in this thin fashion.
Yes, exactly. Well, we'll see you in 3-dimensional. We'll see a 3-dimensional version of you at one point. Enjoy the rest of your time, Nick, and I can't wait to see your show. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. Man, I'm psyched for McBrayer is gonna be
great. I mean, great Nick.
Yeah, he is gonna be. I mean, honestly, I feel like he's more Nick than Nick is Nick. Right.
I felt it too. I mean, and I'm going to tell you, the one thing I didn't even play was, Reggie Watts submitted a couple of different reads, and they were all like, he like a lot of people were kind of competing for it. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to see another Reggie read? I mean, because Reggie, I'll show you a quick one. Reggie came in. He's like, I don't know which way you want to do it, but this is another one that he did.
My name is Reggie Watts, reading the part of Nick Offerman. It began with peeling off wet garments just inside the kitchen door to the garden patio. Rain boots, pants, and jacket were left in the mud area. I went into the powder room and I ran some.
That's too quick. It's too fast, right?
Yeah, that's a little fast.
I can't even. Yeah, that's too fast. All right, you know what? Let's see if no, that's too quick. Let's see if there's another version of it. Let's see if here's one more from him.
Hi, my name is Reggie Watts, reading part of Nick Offerman. It began with peeling off wet garments just inside the kitchen door to the garden patio. Rain, pants, boots, and jacket were left in the mud area. I went into the powder room and ran some lukewarm water to soak up that orb.
Okay, I'm stop again. I'm sorry. I feel like that one just felt like it was like old English, or I just felt it was a little old English or something. I mean, but again, I was engaged by it. And sometimes
my thing about McBraer's read, the thing that really jumped out at me, and it might be a way to go for these audiobooks, is to introduce a video component. You know what I mean? Like watching Jack do it. I don't know whether it's because, Jack's house is so nicely manicured but he's so tan and handsome that I really connected more with him. And so I don't know if there's a way to listen to the book while also watching the person read it. That would be great.
I look, I agree with you. I mean, but look, this is why we're in publishing. This is why we're successful in publishing. And, and by people come to us for their book recs and everything like that. I mean, by the way, you were talking about the other books you read. Have you read this? I just read this great autobiography that actually, did you ever read this book? I don't know if I've talked about this one before.
I don't know. Which one is it?
It's called Live, Die, Make a Choice, a Modern Day Immigrant Story by Jigsaw.
No,
I never knew that Jigsaw is not from the United States. Jigsaw is actually from Bulgaria. And it's his story about how he came here to work in this business and how he got caught up in one of the world's most successful franchises. It's not funny. It's like Angela's Ashes in a way. It took you through how he came up with the puzzles and, putting the key in someone's belly and stuff like that. But it's a great book. If you haven't gotten a chance, definitely read that. For all the people out there,
I would love to read that. One thing that I find sometimes is hard to get through are books about business, like business books.
Oh yes.
And I read a great one recently that I wanted to tip off to you because I don't know, just getting ahead in Hollywood is tough.
Yeah.
And any sort of tips I think are really helpful. And so I read this book and I can highly recommend it to anyone out there.
I love this. I think I've heard about this because I love business books. I find them to be boring. I think some people in the chat feel that same way. Is it this one?
It's well, that's a great one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not it? Okay.
Well, Who Took My Shirt is great. Who Took My Shirt is also it works on a couple different levels.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
it is a business book. It's also kind of a mystery because the whole time this guy who sort of looks like our friend Jesse.
Just Falcon. Sorry,
Jesse Falcon. I picked this for you because he lost his shirt, and most of the book is kind of a mystery. It's sort of like him actually trying to figure out who took his shirt.
So it's kind of like a business book, like about like having ownership of your own clothes or something like that.
Yeah, taking responsibility for yourself at the office. And along that same theme is another book that I love, which is I think I sent this one to you.
I don't have it. If you
you don't.
Yeah.
There
it is. Great. Okay, great. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and this is 10 years ago. I farted in a meeting. Starts off. It's first I was like, wait, what's happening? Because it's like a few chapters of this guy talking about, kind of a stinky fart that he ripped at a meeting. But then it goes straight into all of the lessons, the important life lessons that he learned. And then, how he met his wife and all this stuff, all because he realizes that I should not have farted at that meeting. I should have just held it in. But anyway, it's great. If you haven't read it, I think you would love it.
Well, I'm excited about this, and we're talking about book recommendations, but I want to talk about some movies that are coming out. Scream, the new Scream movies come out. Scream 5. They're not calling it Scream 5. They're just calling it Scream.
It's called
Scream, and then it's the colon. It's always someone you know.
Oh,
Scream colon. It's always someone you know, which is a tricky tricky title. And even the poster actually is kind of funny because the poster they just says right here, it says the killer is on this poster, so we know that the killer here is on the poster.
I mean, there's a lot of people. There's like 16 people there.
There's a lot of people on that poster. But I wanted to kind of play a game with you, get ready for.
I love games, man. Yeah. I was just telling you, I was trying to email you and I forgot your email address, but I was trying to tell you, hey, I love games.
I love games too. And you know what? I figured it's a great chance to go back to 1996 for the first Scream movie. I don't know if you remember what happens in the first Scream movie. It's great.
Can you recap just kind of the gist of it so I can be refreshed?
Yeah. Okay. Scream 1 opens with Drew Barrymore, and she's like, hello, and someone's like, hey, I'm here to kill you, and she's like, what? Come on, you're flirting with me. And then she dies. And then smash cut to Neve Campbell working on her computer, and her boyfriend's like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, are you I want to have sex, and she's like, not now. And then long story short, that guy is the guy who tried to kill her.
Wow. Paul, so that's just quick aside here. Mm-hmm. You could make money just recapping movies.
Well, thanks. Thank you. I remember everything about movies, and then Scream's definitely one that I totally remember. And I want you to go through like Scream 1, obviously. Then there was Scream 2.
Hey, is Jerry O'Connell in Scream 2? Was that
Jerry O'Connell? Yes, is in Scream 2, and he dies in Scream 2. He's like crucified, I believe. And then there was Scream 4.
Okay.
And so what I wanted to do with you, Rob, was play a game where I'm going to show you images from the red carpet events of these movies. And I want you to see if you can guess what, and we'll play it with everybody in the chat as well. Okay. Which Scream premiere was it from? 1 through 4 because 5's premiere was canceled because of Omicron. So
I like
so
the way you pronounce. I like the way you pronounce Omicron.
Omicron. So here we go. All right, we're gonna pop it in right now. Here is Michael Rappaport showing up super cash, as if he's going to a midday movie, but no, it was a premiere for Scream.
Okay, let me think. Now this is early. I'm gonna do a little detective work, and I'm gonna let you in on my process here.
Okay,
this looks like young Michael Rappaport because he's not this young anymore.
Yeah,
if I know how time works, so I'm gonna guess. I don't know. That's very casual to go to a movie premiere. A little too casual for me, but I'll say Scream 2. I'm going to guess Scream 2.
Rob, you're right. You are right. Scream 2, Michael Rappaport coming in with just a simple hoodie. I love that idea. I love when people show up to a premiere, get their picture taken as if like, oh, wait, there are going to be cameras here? I didn't know that. This one here, this is a good one. Check out this one. This is America's Favorite Friends. Now, Courtney Cox Arquette at a certain point, now she's this Courtney Cox, has been in all the films. And I will say that Friends was on the air for the first 3 Scream films. So
yeah. Ooh, this is tough. Again, I got to let you in on my process here. The way I'm trying to do this is a different way than most people would do it. I'm trying to guess, how old these guys are at the time. Schwimsies is looking pretty young, and my man LeBlancy's this is pre-gray on him. I'm going to guess
still young. And I'll give you the year of Scream 2, just in case you want to know it too. Just give you some, I think it's good to have some reference points here because it's fair as people are in the chat are debating it as well. I'm just pulling it up right now. Hold on one second. I'm not that fast. All right, here we go. Scream 2 came out in 1997. Scream 1 came out in 1996. Scream 2 came out in 1997. So these are right back to back. Scream 3 came out in 2000. Just so you know. And Scream 4 came out in let's see, 2011. Wow. So 96, 97, 2000, 2011, and now 2021. Some real distance here.
Yeah. Someone in the chat made a great joke. They have money at this point. That's a good clue. They did have money at this point.
Yes. But still casual, like our friend Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, it is a little cash for me, but that's not really a clue, because it's hard to go by their fashion choices too, because you never know if people are dressing.
Joey is dressed like Joey. That's an outfit that Joey would wear on.
I'm gonna guess Scream 3 for this one.
You guessed Scream 3. You were wrong. Scream 1, they came out to support their friend Courtney Cox, who was not yet Courtney Cox Arquette. But
do you think did those guys? I don't know. Did anyone? Never mind. I was gonna say, do those guys get along with David Arquette? I don't know. I don't know enough about that marriage to know.
Well,
how long did that marriage last?
I think it lasted for a long time. But while you're talking about David Arquette, let's bring him up. He's been at pretty much every Scream premiere. So every Scream premiere, he's been there. So now, which one is this one? So
this one's obvious to me. This one's obvious to me. And I'll let you in a little bit on my CSI Scream. I remember when he was born with what's called a leftover finger. I forgot the scientific term, but some people are born with fingers or different appendages sticking out of their body, and I think he had a finger on his forehead that he had removed around 2000.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
I think this is probably 3, because to me he would be nervous at the first one, nervous at the second one. By the third one, he's like, "Fuck it, baby." And he's got some kind of a devil may care attitude. The thick necklace is the real giveaway for me. The necklace screams Scream 3.
Rob, it is Scream 2. He went full on Arquette immediately. From 96 to 97, this guy switched it up in a major way. Like you were right. He was very demure in Scream 1.
Yeah.
And Scream 2, forget it. I will now kind of hit you up with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I love your detective work.
Thank you.
This is our friend Colin Hanks.
Okay, this is going to be easy. This will be so easy for me.
Yes.
So Colin, I wish I could see this a little bit bigger.
Let me see if I can blow it up. I don't know if I can. Oh,
from the way he is dressed, because here's what I'm going to do. What year did you say Scream 4 came out?
It is 96, 97, 2000, and then 2011.
Okay. I think that in 2011, if I remember, I'd have to go through my closet, but
yes. And by the way, Orange County came out in 99.
Okay. Thank you. I knew that.
Okay.
But the long zipper in the front on the hoodie. See how that zipper is extra long? It's got like
a baggy outfit.
It's got like several extra teeth. That was very specific to 2011. His neck is also a little bit longer than it is now. I think over time, his neck has gotten a little bit shorter. There it looks a little bit elongated, which screams 2011 to me. So I'm going to say Scream 4.
And I am going to say wrong. It is not Scream 4. It is Scream 2. That is 97. He's ahead of the curve. I thought that too. He looks a little bit familiar. I'm going to give you an easy one now. I think I'm going to give you a nice, easy one. So here we go.
I hope it's someone wearing New Year's glasses that say the year on it. Okay, Reese Witherspoon.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Okay, now I'm gonna. Can I zoom in on her phone? That's the clue.
Yeah, let's see. Let's get Molly may have the better version of it where she can zoom in. If she
well, regardless, that's phone. From what I can,
looks like a sidekick to me.
Oh, it does. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that because that would be a giveaway.
Now, I had a sidekick when I first started dating June.
Okay,
June and I have been together for
how did that
time.
End up? By the way,
the sidekick.
No, you're dating June. Whatever happened?
Still waiting to hear back. A lot of our messages are still. When the sidekick died, I was hoping that you'd write me back. I haven't heard that much.
You still have the same phone from back then.
Trying to pop that up.
Okay. Oh,
it was. I remember having a sidekick with June, only because it was at the point where you were paying for text messages, and I had we got to close up with the phone here, and I had a second phone so I could do more texting on that phone. Like it was sort of like I didn't have unlimited, so I went back and forth between two phones, and that's why I had the sidekick. So the sidekick was, and it was also way easier to type. I was ahead of the curve. But that looks like a sidekick to me. Molly, can you confirm that looks like a sidekick to you?
I think so, which would make this early. Plus the way the publicist is dressed, if that is her publicist or her.
This looks to me like a piece of paper.
Oh, it's a piece of paper. So what year is a piece of paper?
Let me see.
When do people like paper?
Paper was invented around the late 90s. So
yes.
Yeah, if that's a piece of paper when people wrote messages on paper, or that could be your checkbook when people still wrote checks.
Maybe it's a Western Union telegram, like old school, like delivered by horses or something.
You know what I'm going by? Actually, I'm going by the shoes of the publicist and the purse of the publicist, which I don't think women's purse straps are that long anymore.
Yes.
So, and can I see Reese's? I see her nail color. And
wow, you're going in. I love it. You get in there. You're CSIing it.
Yeah. And can I see her lipstick color, please? I don't think this is a color that people currently wear. Yep. So this is definitely in the past.
Just go by her face.
Aha. I think I just saw a logo. I think it's Scream 4.
Oh no, it is Scream 1. First year.
There was a logo. Oh, I got.
All right. Now I'll do one more because why not? I got two more, but I'll do one more. All right. This is the last one. I know this person is a problematic person, but I'm not talking about the person. I'm just trying to get the year. So
if this is Harvey Weinstein, I'm not going to play the game. Oh no, even worse. Okay. Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson went to the screen premiere, of course, and
he is making this, and I know that because
by the
I've
way, did I tell you I think we have the same Marilyn Manson story about, didn't you run into him somewhere? Because we have a similar story where one time I was in New York for something, and it must have been a children's hospital thing because Cordry was there, and we were in the hotel lobby, and Marilyn Manson was hanging on Cordry's. It's too bad we let Cordry go, but he was hanging. He ran into Cordry, and he basically wouldn't leave Cordry alone like all night long. He was such a fan of comedy.
He's such a comedy fan, like to the point where, yes, I have a similar story. Like, it is like it's as if you're bumping into like a person who's never even been near anything in entertainment.
But it's weird when you meet, like, because I feel like a lot of comedians want to be rock stars and rock stars want to be comedians. But it was, I mean, I didn't know anything about him personally then, that he was such a fucking
this is not about him being a cool guy. It just was a
no. He was I mean, obviously a piece of shit dude, but like, I was just off put by like how much of a comedy fan he was, but like to an annoying degree of like, all right, man, like, fine. That's great.
He what he would do, and this has nothing to do with where we know of Marilyn Manson, but at that point he would hang on someone, and I watched him do this to a very famous, successful comedian, to the point where it's been like, oh, that's nice. Oh, wow, they really are a comedy fan too. Get the fuck away from me. Like, you are insane. And I've seen that happen twice where it's like it is, I mean, look, very truly invading people's space and not understanding boundaries. So there you go.
Okay, so
that is 4. That is 4.
That was Scream 4.
That is Scream 4. But Rob, the thing that I wanted to show you about this that I thought you would actually like a lot, which is, I don't know if you knew about this, you can actually hire the dude who does the Scream voice on Cameo.
No, you cannot.
And he will give you a fucking cool message. I wanted to show you him. Here we go. Where is it? I'm going to pull it up here. Molly, do you have a clip? Oh, yeah. So this is the guy who does Scream's voice. He was never on set with the actors. Like, he was always in a separate room. They never knew what he looked like. He didn't interact with them. This is the guy. Here he is right here. And here's a cameo. Oh, here we go.
Terrell Jackson. Do you know me? Maybe you know me better like this.
Hello, Alan Carr. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie, Alan Carr? You want to know what's really scary? Your friends, 2000 and Sonic, want me to roast you. And I told them, although I do enjoy butchering the meat, I don't eat it when I'm through. They want me to make fun of you because you're terrified of clowns. Hey, if you knew my friend Art the Clown, you'd have reason to be terrified.
There you go.
That's pretty great. Wait, Paul, we got to do a new segment with Cameo. Where, what could we do? We should get people from the audience to have them send us cameos, and then we'll play them on the air. Or is that,
I don't want people to waste the money of doing that. But we could figure out some fun cameos to maybe help promote the show, because I think a lot of people might hire like Tay Zonday to promote their live appearances and stuff like that. And look, we could definitely because again, we're making all this money from the show. We're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we can definitely
we've opened our phone lines. People can email us complaints at any time, and these complaints can be about anything at all. We will talk about it. We will hear your complaint, and we will try to address it. So let's see what we got.
All right, here we go. It's our first one. This is from Stephanie.
So we've all have probably a coworker that sucks. And in our small little team of teachers, we've got one. We've minimized the sucking because she only teaches 2 middle school classes and has 1 high school class. So we get to spread her wealth, I guess. And today was kind of like the last straw, and hopefully they're gonna do something. But yeah, she's pretty much like body shaming kids who are quote unquote like ratting her out to the other teachers, and saying things that make them uncomfortable, like, hey, maybe you should lose weight. Or,
Whoa.
hey, 12-year-old girl, maybe you should wear those clothes. They'd look better on somebody else of a different size.
Whoa.
Wow.
What? I thought the last straw was like her not teaching and just talking about her past lives to these kids and all the spooky stories she learned in Trinidad. But no, it just keeps coming and coming. But I guess we need the teachers. Am I right?
Wow. Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, a lot to
But
unpack
basically, it sounds like this person is a teacher, and the teacher she's complaining about, her coworker, is body shaming kids. Paul, what's your take on body shaming? Because honestly, we've been doing this show for a while.
Well, look, if you're hairy, you definitely should body shave.
No, sorry, Paul, not body shaving.
Oh,
I think what this woman was complaining about was body shaming.
And how?
Shaming.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she's talking about a teacher that's telling kids to
and
lose
how young
weight.
are these kids?
Well, she didn't say. I think she said middle school. So I guess they're like, what is that? 11, 12, 13, something like
I
that.
could probably take a couple kids like that, hands down, if I met them.
What do you mean? It's not about fighting middle school kids. It's about body. It's about what she's complaining about. And what I'm trying to get from you is
hairless kids that fight.
No, not you're not.
I did kind of
zoned out.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, let me
Trinidad.
recap. I'll recap for you.
Okay.
This woman works with another teacher who is body shaming kids. I guess telling these kids that they're fat.
Look, we all have bodies.
Yes.
And we should not be shamed that we have a body. What, we just be heads and hands? No. All right.
That's not exactly the issue. She's saying, should a teacher be telling a teenage girl, hey, you need to lose weight. You're too fat for those clothes. And
it's above my pay grade.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what we're being paid to do. I mean, we're being paid to, either support or sink her complaints. I mean,
So I'll throw it back to you, Rob.
Okay. Do I think kids should be body shamed?
Yeah, if they deserve it. Like, what are the kids like? Are they like a real dick?
That's my question. Like, in general, I'm against body shaming anyone. I think that, the world needs all shapes and sizes. However, if it's like a bully, kid that's like, like if I were a teacher and there was like a kid that kept beating me up after class, but it was like, like a skinny asshole kid, I'd say, hey, you skinny asshole, you leave me alone, something like that.
Well, I like what you're saying here. And I think that Miss Liz or Miss Lizzie says something here too. Let's not shame kids about their body. Let's shame them about their bad personalities.
Okay. That's a pretty strong take. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, look, if you're going to talk about Roblox or Minecraft for 6 hours, I'm going to be like, hey, get a life, kid.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or,
yeah.
Or if a kid has like bad breath, it's like, hey, little dude, brush your teeth every now and then, or chew on a piece of gum,
Yeah, like that. So yeah, it depends on the thing. But let's not keep it. Let's make our insults pointed, but not generic. And let's not just go for the lowest common denominator. And I think that that's a challenge to this teacher. Step up your complaints. Let's do something a little bit more.
Now, conversely, are you allowed to? Because I honestly don't know. Are you allowed to whatever the opposite of body shaming is? If a kid has hold on, Paul,
right.
let me finish.
All right, sure.
If a kid has suddenly, lost a lot of weight or gotten in great shape,
sure.
Is it appropriate for a teacher to say, hey, Hey, my man, just wanted to say you're going to be, you look great. And I wish you good luck,
wait, no. Like, let me do it. All right. Class is dismissed. And Roger, has anyone ever told you have beautiful eyes?
Okay.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
No, the way you did it was different. The way I did it would be more like,
hey, my man. That does not make it better. Hey, my man.
All right.
Hey, my man.
Yeah. It's still weird.
You're filling out those genes pretty good.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
All right. This one is from our friend Brissy Joe. Now,
I think also these are supposed to be anonymous. I think I told people we would not say.
Well, I think that if people,
Brissy Joe is fine. Brissy Joe, people know who Brissy Joe is.
Yeah. I trust Molly because Molly will load them up the right way.
Okay.
So here we go. All right. Here we go.
Hi, Rob. My name's Joe, and I'm from Brisbane, Australia. My main complaint is that I just think that maybe you guys don't show enough international content or guests, as it's pretty much American-centric. I love you guys, but yeah, give us international folks some love.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, I'm so happy that this was brought. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're
so happy that. I wanted to talk about this today, as a matter of fact, because I did feel like our show has been doing stuff that is so
very American, and a lot of people say that Twitch has complained about that the show is so American. But here's what I would say.
Yeah.
In our defense, Brissy Joe, no disrespect. However, we're the best. I mean, we fucking rule. We rule.
Rob,
hold on, let me finish, Paul. We fucking rule. We rule we run the world. We run the world, especially when it comes to entertainment, TV, movies, books, video games, DVDs, VHS, any other format. Gifts, here's what I would say. Name one
Rob,
famous person from one other country. Go. Anyone. You cannot name
hold on. I'll do it. Okay. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
It's impossible. We rule, Paul. America rules.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, wait a second. Let me think about that. He's American. There is the only other famous person, and I Googled this. I DuckDuckGo this. I did this all day long. I kept searching for famous people from other countries. The only one I came up with was Paul Hogan from Australia.
Well, by the way, I'm glad that you came up with Paul Hogan because, I did take Brissy Joe's note personally. And Rob, I wanted to do a new segment on the show called What's Happening in Brisbane.
Okay.
Rob, I mean, the water in Brisbane, I don't know if you've had a proper cup of tea in the last 2 weeks, but it is terrible. Like, the water has been tasting like dirt. I mean, what is the deal with Brisbane's water?
I mean, what is the deal with...
I mean, I'm just trying to have a nice cup of tea, and the scientists are telling me, it's the rain. Look, Milli Vanilli, and no thank you, okay? What is going on? And so apparently...
Does the water in Brisbane all taste like dirt, or just...
Yeah. It all tastes like dirt. And apparently Jurg Keller, Jurg from the Queensland's Australian Center, he says, it's not dirt. These are compounds that were created naturally, and they create a strong sensory response, that our nose and palates can't really, that really take in. But it's more earthy. It's not dirt.
You bring up a good point, and I Googled around, and what I found out was that most people in Australia have dirt growing on their tongues. They are born with dirt in their mouths. I don't know what it is. Maybe Brissy Joe, when we can have him on the show, and he can explain why the water in a lot of stuff in Brisbane taste like dirt. I don't know why it is.
Well, I mean, and then there's that other story that's been going around.
This is a great segment, by the way. What's it called? What's happening in Brisbane?
Yeah, it's what's going on. It's called Molly has the title up there. Breaking in what's happening in Brisbane? Yeah. So that's and there's a lot of great stuff that we'll be covering. We'll come back to the show a lot.
Yeah.
But
any other facts? Any other facts that you got about?
I got a couple of things. I mean, like ICU numbers are jumping right now in Brisbane, and then people want to give this. This is what I don't like is that people want to give this really beautiful idea that Brisbane is a safe place, but it's not. A man was shot last night in the inner city.
It's not safe. It is not safe there. They always tell us that it's safe, and they say, "Come on down." They don't tell us that we could get shot.
Get shot at 7:45 in the morning, and and a lot of people have been asking, like,
what? They shoot people at 7:45 there?
When people are asking the question that everyone's been asking, why are these helicopters flying over in Brisbane? Why are these helicopters flying over here? And apparently it's this is part of this Australian army. I'm sorry, Australian.
Now look, I don't know. Oh, here we go.
This is another great big story.
Oh, I heard about this one. The Pirate Kitty of Ferny Hills, how a thieving ginger cat brought joy to something. But so what? They got cats they got cats down there now, ginger cats.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So all we know about Brisbane is their water tastes like dirt. People are getting shot willy-nilly, which never happens in the States.
7:45 in the morning.
They got a crazy cat, and there's helicopters flying all over. Oh yeah, take me to Australia. What is it? A war zone? Come on.
Right. So Brissy Joe, we did our best. We like to bring you more international content, but when we try, this is the kind of shit that
we don't want to depress people. We want to have people have a good time here, come to the show and enjoy themselves, not get bummed out. By the way, speaking about the news, Rob, I don't know if you saw this. We'll get back to some complaints, but I really wanted to show you this. I don't know if you knew about this thing. Friends of our show actually has some very important news. I don't know. Our friends Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox are engaged to be married.
Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox are engaged. The couple announced their engagement on Instagram Wednesday. In Kelly's post, he revealed details about the stunner he used for his proposal. He wrote alongside a video of the two-stone ring, quote, "Yes, in life and every life. Beneath the branches we fell in love under, I brought her back to ask her to marry me." He added, "I know tradition is one ring, but I designed it with Stephen Webster to be two." Kelly went on to explain that he chose an emerald, which is Fox's birthstone, and a diamond, which is his birthstone, to be set on, quote, "two magnetic bands of thorns that draw together as two halves of the same soul, forming the obscure heart that is our love."
I can't watch the rest of this.
And by the way, just so you know, I just want to show you this quick moment here.
Oh, yeah.
Watch how many cameras they had to shoot this thing.
Announced the couple's engagement news by sharing a video of the proposal.
2 cameras.
She revealed in the post caption
3
that
cameras.
after she said yes, she and Kelly, quote, "drank each other's blood."
Okay, and then they drank each other's blood.
Do you know how much money they got to have a camera crew, an exclusive People Magazine camera there? That's
3 cameras. That was on their Instagram, which means they set up 3 fucking cameras and then they drank each other's blood. What do you think about that? Like, I mean, I know Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm all about that. I love that. I drink my wife's blood all the time, and it keeps me. I think it keeps my skin looking great. And
it does.
I haven't had a lot of health problems or anything like that. I do want to say one thing real quick is just to double back to Brissy Joe's thing. This story is why we do not do international celebs, because we have all of the best celebs here in America.
We got the best stuff. We got the best stuff here. We got you got who's your Machine Gun Kelly? What do you got? Aussie Outback Aussie
you got it.
Kelly or whatever
Outback
it is.
Steakhouse Steve,
you got the Bloomin' Onion Man over there marrying
What do you got? That's not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah.
That's not an engagement ring. This is an engagement ring.
Yeah.
Another complaint call.
Oh, another complaint. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pop this in. And we got this.
So I'm driving the other day, and my buddy Tim pulls up beside me, and we haven't seen each other in forever, since before lockdown began. So,
by the way, a great, maybe a person to read Nick Offerman's book. That's a great voice.
Yeah, great voice.
You know, we're like, hey, how you doing? We're talking through our car windows to each other, and I'm right in front of my house, about to pull in my driveway. Just exchanging pleasantries and, you know, making sure everybody's made it through COVID okay. And so we, you know, make sure that our contact information for each other is up to date. Hey, we'll go get a beer soon, all that other good stuff. But as he leaves, he tells me, yeah, I got to get home. I just had to go out and buy some milk for my dog. And so, yeah, this was like 3 weeks ago. I'm still thinking about that. You need to just say that to stay in my head rent-free for the next few weeks. Does he really have a dog that drinks milk? It's bothering the shit out of me, Rob.
All right, I love this.
Now, full disclosure, this one came to me. This complaint is about my brother, my real life brother.
Wait, are you being serious?
Yes. Did I not tell you this? Okay.
No.
So, well, every now and then, you know, I'll post something and then I'll get something from like South Carolina. Like I told you the story about how that kid saved my number from the church.
Yes.
You know, who wanted to stay at my apartment. So, you know, my family's from South Carolina. Both my brothers live in South Carolina. And every now and then I'll get like, you know, my nephew is in high school and his like high school friends will write to me about something or whatever. So anyway, this email came to me. I don't know this guy. He sounds like a nice guy. He sounds pretty dreamy. He sounds like Nick Offerman. But he said, hey, I'm friends with this is my older brother. He said, I'm friends with your older brother. And he said, this is a story about him. I ran into him and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, he just said that in the email. So then I pressed play. And I guess he saw my brother somewhere and they were chatting. And then my real life brother said, I got to go buy my dog some milk. So I have not confronted my brother about this. I don't know what this is. My brother has a few dogs.
Okay.
And I don't know whether they all drink milk, whether one of them drinks milk. I know that
my dog drinks orange juice.
If I put anything down, my dog would probably drink it. But that's different than my brother actively going to the store.
Right, to get dog milk.
To get milk for a dog. And yeah, that's a good point. Is it dog milk? I don't think so. I don't think that's milk from the teats of a dog. I think that's probably cow milk. Or I'm sure it's milk from a cow, right? It wouldn't be.
Well, people are saying that if dogs have milk from a container, they could have symptoms that are similar to like lactose intolerance, and that maybe a few tablespoons of cow's milk or goat's milk on occasional basis can be a nice reward. But we got to make sure that your dog doesn't just get in on this, you know.
Well, I mean, I know my brother pretty well. I just haven't talked to him about this specific thing, so I don't really know what the deal is.
You got to tell him right now. You got to
now
type it.
I will say
tell him right now. Text him right now.
I will say this, that I will pour, you know, a fair amount of vodka in our dog's water bowl, and she doesn't know, you know, so she'll drink that.
She likes
and
it.
Then she becomes pretty fun. You know, she starts like kind of, you know, running
That's
around.
what I do with June.
Acting silly. Yeah, you put vodka in her water bowl.
Yeah, or like she's out of the water bowl now. She goes, I have a special like
she's got the little gerbil, the little hamster thing. Yeah. But but I don't know. I can't speak for my brother. I will get an update. I will find out.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
We do need
now,
to get
and I also want to ask him, you know, whether it's cow's milk or it could be human breast milk. It could be dog milk. You know, we don't know.
I mean, there's all right. Yeah. So maybe he's going out.
And also, is it regular milk or is it chocolate milk? You know, like I could see giving your dog chocolate milk, like, oh, it's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get some chocolate milk for my dog. You know, I mean, but we'll see. Well, this is a very good a really good question. I thought that this kind of opened us up to a lot of other stuff, I feel like.
Yeah. And I will tell people, if you have a complaint about anything at all, it could be literally anything. We will at least air it. So you will feel, that you will feel heard, that
that's sometimes all we want.
And sometimes that's all we can do,
I was telling you the story. This is a fun story. Well, I could tell it. Well, and I can't. I guess I can't. I'll tell it to you afterwards. But it was sometimes we all just want to just be heard. We just want to be heard.
I feel like you got to tell the story.
It's not mine to tell. So I am afraid that if I tell it, I'm taking the steam off of somebody else's story. So I want to, but I will say that, just so you know, right now, again, for the second week in a row, we are beating Amaranth. Our follower count is higher. Our lick count is higher.
Yeah,
we did get.
I don't know if I told you this. I've been getting calls at my home on my landline. I got rid of my cell phone, and so I only use a landline now.
I appreciate that.
And I've been getting a lot of calls from Jerry's gym.
Oh, yeah. That 24-hour fitness.
24-hour fitness. And they were kind of pissed.
Why?
I think it had something to do with some of the angles of Jerry last week were a little graphic. There were some that were very, like what they call upskirts, where it's like kind of shooting up his shorts.
We were very nervous.
I think we were careful. Yeah. We didn't want any taint. We didn't want any tip, dick tip or ball slips or anything like that. And I think we did a pretty good job, but they've been calling me nonstop. And so,
well, I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. But look, we are journalists, and that's, we're coming here with the hard news, and whether that's news about Brisbane or telling Nick Offerman that he doesn't sound Nick Offerman enough.
I want to say this too. Brissy Joe has been kind of piping up here in the chat, and I want to kind of take a minute to kind of smack him down a little bit. Like, again, look, I guess I have mixed feelings about this. I like that we have people from other countries watching the show. I do like that. I don't love it when they start suggesting things for us, like, hey, can you get more international people? Who would we get?
Yeah.
I don't, Paul Hogan is the only person that came up on Google that's from any other country.
Well, all right. Well, so here's how I'll play it out. Hey, sorry. Hey, Australian celebrity, would you like to be on Thursdays with Rob and Paul? Oh, that's impossible for me because your Thursday is my Friday.
Yeah. Or, hey, that's impossible because the water in my toilet is going the other way. Down it goes this way. It doesn't go this way. It goes the other way. So I know I can't do it.
I mean, it's sort of like, to me, I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like, this kind of thing, you're always asking us to do these Australian things. And I don't know what you want. You want us to have Angus Young on the show? You want
from AC/DC,
Michael Hutchins, God bless his soul, or, is it maybe we should have Daniel Ricciardo on the show, the famous Italian racing driver.
Yeah. F1, or maybe Hugh Jackman. I believe he's from there, but regardless, I don't know. I just don't like people. Honestly, I don't like it when Australians start, throwing their opinions around.
Oh yeah. I mean, the last thing I want to have is Sir Donald Bradman, famous, a cricket player out here, talking about his bullshit,
honestly, if I wanted more Australia in my diet, I'd go to Outback, and I would get I'd get a bloomin' onion,
I mean, like Brissy Joe, like what shows are you guys watching there? You watching Celebrity? You watching Australian Celebrity Apprentice or something like that? That started here.
What are you watching? You're watching Celebrity The Voice. The Voice is an American show. You're watching what we feed you, bro. You're watching what we choose to give you down there. Yeah, people in the comments are right. It is a prison colony. Now someone brings up a good point. Bluey is the only Australian show that I will watch. I will watch.
I love Bluey. Bluey's a great
love
show.
it. Yeah,
but
that's
let me show you. This is what would happen if we brought on an Australian celebrity, right? I guarantee you this is what will happen, right? We'll say, hey, we're trying to do a light show. We just want to have fun,
Yeah.
right? We don't want to be like too anything here. And,
Right.
We get something like this. We get like this here. Let's see here.
Oh boy.
I don't even. Oh yeah. I'll wait until the ad goes away.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
Hold on. I don't know if you can hear what.
I can't.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's gonna be great when you do it.
All right. So hey, we have a great guest on.
Because the impact of lockdown over the past 2 years has had a devastating effect on mental illness, all ages. Growingly, the more heartbreaking on our teenagers. There were comments I saw in a post the other night.
And I'm supposed to take this guy seriously.
It's
He's got a dog.
comedy show, bro. It's
comedy
show.
And he's got a picture of a dog in it. Come on, man. Comedy show, large K, small C. Look, I can't understand what he's saying. And look, this guy's a professional guy. He's barely.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. And maybe we should have Brissy Joe on sometime to explain the accent. Like that's the hardest part.
He did come on. He came on and gave us a lot of
I know,
tips.
but I don't remember them now. That was 21. This is 22, bro. And I would be willing to think about having international guests on here. Look, would I want to have someone from Canada on here? Yes, I would love it. I would love it. But the accents, it's the language barrier.
Hold on, wait. Hey,
what is going on?
Well.
What is this?
What time is it? 7:45 in Brisbane. About time for someone to get shot out there. Blow, blow. Bam, bam.
Oh, I'm so happy that you guys just shit on me in Australia for the last 10 minutes. It's lunchtime here. It's too early for that shit.
So it's too late for shooting, but early enough for you're about ready to go.
What are you having for lunch?
Yeah.
A bloomin' onion?
Oh yeah. Get with that onion. So good. I'm not having a bloomin' onion. I'm having kangaroo.
He's eating kangaroo. That is such a stereotype.
Did we do a good enough job kind of letting you in on the Brisbane news? Is the water tasting like dirt right now?
Why does the water taste like dirt for real?
I don't know. That's not where I'm at. That's news to me, literally. So I'm not ever going to drink water again. So thanks for you've enlightened me.
I mean, this was just a very easy Google search. This was the first thing that popped up.
We don't have Google in Australia. It's Google. It has 4 extra O's in it.
I heard that you guys are still using Ask Jeeves, but it's Ask
Jeeves.
Oh my God. But when you use it, like sometimes sometimes your search engines in Australia, they just go, I don't know. Like, what is it? You'll ask it a question like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll come back.
No, it'll literally just say, fuck off. Go away.
Now, Brissy Joe, we aired your complaint and, you bring up a valid point. We could have more international guests. Are there people, and I'm open to any suggestions. Are there guests that you would like for us to try to get on the show?
Well, I really like, everyone from that show, The League, they're all pretty good. I think
I want to give us Australian Rex. Australian Rex. We know our friends. I
know. Australia, there's a lot of good actual comedians and stuff that you could get on.
Yahoo Serious?
Yahoo's, mate, he's still around. You can get him on Cameo for at least $13 dudes, and he'll say your name.
You have to pay him in didgeridoos?
Everyone I think is from Australia is actually from New Zealand. Like Rhys Darby. Is Rhys Darby from New Zealand?
He's New Zealand.
Yeah, but he has a very, very strong New Zealand accent. But he's and Flight of the Conchords and Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is a New Zealander that we claims, and Pavlova. It's not Australian. It's New Zealander. We know.
Can you do a New Zealand accent? Do you have a disdain for New Zealand? And if you do, what's your version of a New Zealand accent?
New Zealand? It depends. I don't have disdain. We have like a little brother, big brother sort of dynamic because they're pretty shit at everything, and we just like picking on them. But that's why we do that. And they just have a really, you might not think it's possible, they have an even twangier sounding accent than we have. And you'd like to say, they speak actually a bit like Paul when he says Paul, like they pronounce their O's. They pronounce their O's. Yeah. So you'd be an all right New Zealander.
All right, then maybe I should find that as a place. Maybe I should move there. Maybe I don't know, Rob. Now I'm
don't at all. Lord of the Rings was the best thing to come out of there.
Wow.
Brissy Joe, we don't want to keep you too long. Are you at work right now? Right. Where do you work and what do you do?
I'm a supervisor of security. And I'm literally on the tail end of my job right now. So I'm just about to finish. So I'm literally in the changeover section. So it doesn't matter. That's why I was allowed to come on because I was enraged hearing you guys shoot on me.
I know you must have been pissed, and it's not fair. It's not fair when people go on, especially a show like this, when there's millions and millions and millions of people watching.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted you to come on and defend yourself.
Well, Brissy Joe, I want you to. You're always you're such a great person on the Discord. You're a great person on the show and the chat. We love having you here always. And I know it may be hard for you to do right now, so I'll give it to you next week. Next week, you pick an Australian show and we'll rate it. We'll bring our audience to an Australian Twitch show. That's your job, is to find an Australian Twitch show.
Oh, and I thought of someone. I thought of someone we can book from Australia, Paul. What about Steve Irwin? The
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try to get Steve Irwin on. That'd be great. Yeah.
He's around somewhere.
Great. Let's Google it.
But you know what? It would be a great get. It would be a great, if we got him on the show to talk, it would be a great get. Yeah. Thank you, Brissy.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Bye-bye. Well, there we go. I mean, Rob, how can we top a live call from Australia? We did it all. We had Nick Offerman, Reggie Watts, Jack McBrayer, Adam Scott, Jason Mantzoukas, Kristen Shaw.
Jack
we
McBrayer.
Had Brissy Joe, Jack McBrayer. Everyone came out to play for Nick Offerman.
Now, let me ask you this, Paul, and I need to go in 1 minute because my wife is mad at me. But will we put all of these faces in our opening montage today? We have that really cool
our
montage.
Great team over at Pink Deer who cuts all of our clips, CJ and Heather. At one point when we're updating everything, we'll swap some faces in there. I love that opening. That opening is the best.
We need some music.
Yeah.
We need some music in there.
We need music. We'll get the whole thing going on. All right, Rob, a pleasure. We're gonna raid somebody right now. Molly is gonna do the raid. I want to let everybody know just an important piece of information that hemp compounds apparently prevent coronavirus. So get out there, stay safe, get high, apparently. And let's be back next week and let's stop this whole thing. If tonight's show worked, COVID will be over by next week's show. That's what I said. So there we go.
Bye, everybody.
All right, see you later,
so
Rob.
much.
Bye. See you later. Oh, and there's a sleepover with Molly on Tuesday. So tune in for that. Molly and Anna, they're great. It's a super funny show. Everyone is so much fun. Tune in for sleepover and some more other fun stuff coming up. Stay on the Discord. See y'all later. And Molly, send us out if you can. If you like that, we are live every Thursday, 5 to 7 Pacific time on Twitch at twitch.tv/friendzone. But you can just watch the recaps here. Tune in, subscribe, like, do all the things. You know what to do. Bye for now.